now we have that community and hosting hackathons with them.
Yeah.
Which is very nice because I feel like, especially now, having in-person events is so much more valuable
It
than
is.
everything online.
How come? Like just saturation, just getting tired of the screen?
Yes, exactly. I think everyone by now feels just overwhelmed with what they can do and see online, and everyone is like seeking in-person events. And especially in Munich, since 1 year by now, there are a lot of hackathons, or this whole thing of hackathons emerged really. Like I remember last summer or last October, there was a sprint of CDTM where they hosted 5 hackathons, I think, within a week with OpenAI and Frothic, Lovable, 11 Labs. And this was really like the beginning of where people said, oh my God, that's normally something you have in San Francisco. But now all these big tech companies, they're coming here, they're doing hackathons with these student-led organizations. And they had thousands of applications, people coming from all over Europe to Munich to participate in these hackathons. And by now it's really regular. You have these hackathons like every second week from the same organizations, but they're all focused on technical people.
Okay.
And we want to change that.
Yeah, that's interesting because we talked before, like I said, you would be a kind of entrepreneur that would go to San Francisco, that Germany loses to to the US and San Francisco. Hasn't happened yet. Do you think Munich becomes a viable option, or like, what do you see your peers also who've done maybe the step? Like, what's the vibe there?
So I know 2 people who went from the Munich ecosystem to San Francisco. I haven't been in touch with them for a long time now, but what I saw online and also in the beginning when we talked a lot is that, of course, first, when you come to San Francisco, you're completely overwhelmed. First, with all the events, everywhere you go, you meet like cracked founders, people who are super, super ambitious and have this ethic of working really, really hard. And you can talk to everyone and anyone. And your idea can be as crazy as it gets, and no one will judge you.
Okay.
And that's where I maybe come to the first differentiation to Munich. Like here, of course, now, since at least for me, what I experienced for the last year is that you also have a very vibrant scene. Everyone, like by now, knows everyone else. If you're a small startup, 1 week old, and you go to a few events, like a month later, everyone in Munich knows you who's relevant to know you. But here, the people are still a little bit more conservative when it comes to startup ideas. You have to show traction that you really proven success, or that your idea is really valid. Whereas when you go to San Francisco, you don't even need traction. You just need a crazy idea.
What do you think about that? Is that the better way to show me vision and I follow till you proven otherwise, so to say?
I think it depends from which perspective you take it. So from my perspective, or how we approached the whole startup building, was that we first focused on distribution, traction, and then really narrowing it down and still trying to find product market fit. So we didn't have that crazy vision, but we knew, for us we knew there is AI, there is code, and there is marketing, and we work a lot, and we like to work a lot.
Yeah, okay.
And this combination will in the end lead to something. Now let's try to make money with it, and then we will narrow it down to a product in the end. And that's also what happened now. But I think in the US, the approach would have been very different. You would have had this like crazy idea. You would have gotten a lot of funding without even showing any traction, and then you would have started.
Love to see it. So often I talked with people, especially last year. So, hey, distribution first. And now I hear you say that's exactly what you guys did. What was that experience like? Would you do it again that way?
If I don't have a very clear idea on what I want to build, if I'm not super convicted about one thing, yes, definitely. Because that's really, if you know that you want to get into the path of an entrepreneur, you not want to rot in a consulting office, whatever. That's really your path to go, because you work on your own and you work your off to get the first customers and then to validate your ideas together with them. And for us, that experience was that we, in the beginning, we wanted to build a venture studio to exactly do that, to validate a lot of ideas by building distribution. And then we quickly realized when building this this venture studio, okay, now how do we actually commercialize it? And the first thing I did was I flew to a fair in Hamburg, and I just went there with a pitch deck where I, of course, like bullshitted a little bit, but in the end, I pitched my vision of, hey, I have these 3 agents that can perform these tasks for your company with these results. And here are a few logos with like universities and people who told us, yeah, you can take my logo, put it on your presentation. And afterwards, we had the first 10 leads. And from that, we converted 2 of them. And just through that event, we got to the first 100K ARR by just going there and selling. I again, like a vision. So that's more like the US kind of style, like not doing a product-led pitch there, but a sales pitch. And yeah, then just get into the dirt and start building the solution that you sold.
I love your initial venture studio idea of just saying, okay, there is marketing, there's AI now, there's distribution or whatever, like something good is gonna come out of it. And it's really that way probably with AI in general. It seems like, since it's such an exciting new field, and like if you have your niche, you think, okay, AI here and maybe a third thing.
Yeah,
there's so much possibility.
Exactly. And there's still so much untapped potential. So we right now got into the problem that we actually, because we started that way, and that's the dangerous part about it, starting to build distribution before you have a clear product vision or not or service vision. I don't want to say that everyone needs to build a SaaS product. That you're not really very clear in your value proposition. So you go out there and you spray that you can basically do everything. And if you're young and ambitious, and you especially you talk to German SMEs, and you have some people who read, okay, AI can now do this and that, and then you see this young guy there and pitching like he can build the world for you. You're the one that they're always coming back to, and they're always like trying to make you build this and that, and that's nice because you make money out of it. But then there comes the point where you have to narrow down if you want to build a scalable business. If not, that's also totally fine. Narrow down and cut out all the noise of all the people that always want to have a solution for you. So
yeah,
but yes, it's still a great approach to find that idea or that product.
I get it. We were just talking to my my office mate here. Like, I assume it's a hot topic. Like, what you do, everyone wants to know, right? Like, is that a funny experience? Like almost you're famous. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you. Hey, so what about Geo? Like, how do I get seen in AI? It must be pretty funny position, right?
Yes, especially when you're still also new to this whole topic. It's not that I have 20 years of experience in what I'm building. It's and also the topic, of course, is constantly evolving, and you have so much more to deal with than just keeping up with the recent news of developments within now, for example, GEO, AEO, whatever you want to call it. But people turn to you and say, hey, you're an expert, I need your knowledge, but sometimes you're not even the expert for it. And then your job is to become an expert by maybe delivering a paid project which is tied to very good KPIs, and you become an expert while delivering this project.
For sure. Yeah, I know this myself. Like this is the way in the beginning, for sure.
How was it for you when?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Like especially with me having a small business that's not in the scale phase right now. It is that, hey, can you also do this? And you can, right? Like with enough hard work and getting into it. And so there is this struggle that entrepreneurs go through where you have to at some point say, no, I'm not gonna do this anymore. This is the only thing I want to be exceptional at, because that's the risk, right? Like good at everything. As it turns out, maybe AI is very nice to the generalists, right? But yeah, it is this struggle, but obviously a cool place to be in, to have seen it, to you dove into different stuff, and now the picture becomes clearer.
Exactly. So I think that's a very good point that you mentioned. Being in a venture or a startup, whatever, that deals with some sort of AI right now with LLMs, and no matter in which kind of vertical you are, if you're now building with AI, and by that getting to know all the recent developments and trying always like on the forefront of trying out every new model, now there's like finally Claude Code got its adaptation also for a lot of blue collars with the new plugin, but being like one of the first ones to try out Claude Code or Cursor like 8-9 months ago, whatever, was mind-blowing. And we would have never got to experience that if we weren't building in the AI space, and also always trying to find ways of not needing to hire someone, but automating it with the use of AI as well, of course. You just learn so much right now that you don't learn anywhere else.
Yeah, that's the thing with learning, right? Like if you have a goal, then learning becomes so easy. Like that's looking back at schools or stuff, like it makes no sense. Like you need a project. Like that's why I think it's so smart, which I didn't do, but going back for your masters, like after you start working, it's such a different game. You've already seen, like you can apply it. Oh, okay. I need this because I've seen that I don't have that skill in my job. And that's same with learning. If you have a goal, all of a sudden it just comes to you because you need it. But if you learn to learn, pretty pointless. What I wanted to ask you is like, how do you deal with this constantly something new pops up in AI, right? Like it's so shiny, it looks so good. Oh God, yeah. Now Cowork is 2 weeks old or something, and Google Claude, Anthropic Claude Cowork. How do you deal with that personally?
So, in the beginning, we also jumped on every new hype train, but we very, very, very quickly stopped that. We have a very smart and I would call him mentor, Jonas Stamm. He's a co-founder or founder of Craft Hunt, and they're now about GPT. And I think he has his master's in computer science from Harvard or Stanford. I don't know, but he's super smart, and he's like always at the forefront as well. And still as a CEO building the product and everything himself. And he's the one, when he tells you go use that tool, you know that the hype train has passed and it's really, really good. So try to find people that are already very, very deep in building and have also technical knowledge, not only business knowledge, but technical knowledge, and can tell you, yes, that works, reliable, that brought me the outcomes it promised. Because otherwise, there is a new YC startup every week dropping this banger product video of what their new builder, whatever, can do. Building rocket ships, I don't know. And you spend way too much time on trying these out, and then again being disappointed.
So you guys let it vet by someone else, and then
let pass some time. Stick to what works. If you have found an established setup, don't throw it all over. Because there is a new tool or a new feature emerged somewhere.
And it is a tool. Like, I think people haven't gotten it yet, to be honest. Like, with this, like, it's this Ferrari, this Formula One car. It's crazy powerful, right? But people never learn how to drive it, really, which is in the very first place prompting. Like, and I feel like it's really necessary for everyone to wake up to this, that, hey, there's this tremendously powerful tool. It will dominate your work life and maybe your entire life, to be honest. And so learning to use it should be your primary thing, basically, like learning a language, like learning math. It's the same thing. It's the same scale, maybe even more important. And so, people, I don't think, I mean, as you know, like, most people just ask it ChatGPT, like Google questions, and get a better answer. But what's your experience also working with your company? You work with probably also some of those mid-sized German companies where things move slower sometimes, or maybe not. What's your experience of how good are people in using AI already?
So maybe a little story about our startup. When we sold these empty shells and got the first projects, we were then at the point, okay, now we signed all these projects, how do we deliver them? And what we then, typical first founder mistake, I think, you hire a lot of people. And we, at a certain point, I think we were over 10 people, and most of them, of course, interns, but also very experienced people with a lot of work experience already. And that went tremendously bad, like, because we were just managing and not learning how to use these tools that we've been using before for ourselves to build all of what we had built until then. And then we had a lot of natural fluctuation, also had to let go of a few people and sat down, and that's where my co-founder is, like, really, really strong, sat down and was like, okay, we're going to automate all of this. We have to be able to do all of this our own, because there's AI, and we should know better. And actually, then tripled our ARR, not only because of we completely switched to AI, but we sat down and looked at what are the tasks that we need to do, how systematic, how repetitive are they, and then we're automating them. And so these tasks, and it was, in the end, it was quicker, or now it's quicker to onboard a new agent than a whole new employee. Because especially these tasks that we have to do for delivering the client projects, they're projects that would normally be done by junior persons. Who maybe have like half a year of experience in that field through internships, have graduated from their bachelor's, maybe even master's. But these tasks by now, they can be fully done by AI. The only thing that can't be done by AI is the human interaction, when you need to sit down with the client and build up that relationship, getting to know the company, getting to know the people you're working with, what's their working style. That's something that AI can't do. But all the other stuff that was done by juniors, that can be done. And now for how is it being adapted by German SMEs, for example, I think that's still a very regulatory issue. So of course, they have huge compliance teams, legal teams. But what we see a lot is that Microsoft Copilot is getting adopted a lot now.
True.
But then we come to your point: how do I prompt? So what like to build the imagination of what it is capable of? There's so much education to be done still.
Yeah.
How do I prompt? What kind of task can I give it? What's so repetitive and systematic that I let it do by Claude Cowork, because it now has this skill of creating this weekly PowerPoint that I always have to do. So I think that's an education topic in the
For
end.
sure. I would love to zoom in actually two things, but the one, so like you say, by now it's maybe even easier to onboard a new agent rather than a person. Makes sense. People are messy. People are also amazing, but that's not the point. Can you like just explain what that means? Because I think many people don't have a concept of an agent. What does it do then? Like, what does this actually mean?
Yeah. So take it from so you take on a new project. You sit down with the client, you define the deliverables, you define what should be the outcome and how do we get there, and with which stakeholders do we get there. Then what's done is that you then, of course, you write a plan, like how do we get there, and you accumulate a lot of context about this project, who's like the company, the competitors, everything that used to be done manually that now can in parts be automated by using AI. For example, just going into, now make it very easy, ChatGPT, and ask like, do me a competitor research about this firm, do it with deep research, you get a decent result. Thank you. Decent result. Of course, you can go way more technical, and you can write scripts that now crawl the web even deeper and everything. And then you have all of this context about this project. And that's also what I would give to a new junior person that I would onboard on the project, and saying like, hey, please now go and read through all of these files, and then start by producing the first deliverables. And when you produce these first deliverables, so let's say a slide deck, whatever, please after go over it and in respect of the criteria that we defined, that they're really satisfied. And you see, this is very like systematic, and it's very repetitive. So now when I say it's easier for me to onboard an agent, not to make it too technical, but in the end, you have to think of, you would go into ChatGPT and tell it, now go through all this context. There is this task. Please develop this testing framework that when you finish the task, that you again look over it if you really finish this task.
Yeah.
And then you can also let it run in loops, of course. Now, that's not done with the normal ChatGPT interface that we all work in. That's then done in Cursor or Claude Code or N8N.
Makes sense. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, I think most people will understand it. So the great thing is, or the task is to systemize, is to define very clearly your processes. Like, as you said, like you would have same thing. I'm onboarding someone myself right now, working with me. You have to explain precisely, this is how we do it. And you do that with an agent. He gets it, or it gets it quite fast usually. And then you have those systems that can run.
Yeah, and that's very funny, because what we've learned was, or we've learned a lot about onboarding real people by working a lot with AI
100%,
agents
100%.
because we had things where they deleted the agents deleted our whole repositories, our whole code files, and we went through it and we were like, what happened? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And that was just because we gave the agent too little context and not any guardrails. And that's the same when you onboard a person and you leave out necessary information. They will also do or provide dissatisfactory results. So it's always about you, not only with humans, but also with agents.
100%. Same experience, like learning how to prompt well is learning how to think well, is learning how to structure and like actually verbalize what it is that you want. There's a lot to be gained there. And I mean, it does make sense. Like you hear tech people in the US saying that, this like AI is gonna make smart people even smarter because they know how to ask the right questions and all that stuff. So that much. What I would be interested in, what is your, as a young founder, like what is your mental model of AI right now? What does it represent for you and your company? What is it? I mean, I think you've already went a little bit into it, but what would you say?
It's I wouldn't say the spine, but it comes very close. What we're doing right now, we're in this transitioning phase of we have a product that we now want to sell, but we still have a lot of clients that we talk to in person and online and deliver the results via email, via whatever. So it's not a fully fledged SaaS product yet, but we have this product, and we have way too many clients for our team size. And as I said before, now AI really saves our lives because we can deliver all these projects and can take on even more because we've built systems with AI that allow us to deliver these projects and create, for now, really, really good results for our clients and that's a little bit unfair, and that's we can also talk about it later, but because they just don't get the value of AI yet and they don't know how to use it. So it's a kind of arbitrary game right now. This gap will close for sure, and I'm also hopefully it will close because it doesn't make any sense for me that much. And that also leads to another point where AI is like, if you would take AI away from us right now.
I was about to ask that.
I don't even want to. I don't even want to think about it.
It's not a business anymore.
We can close our doors tomorrow.
And I mean, that makes sense. That sounds like this term AI first company, but the spine. I mean, it makes sense. Like people build their companies on software. Now it's AI. Like, what's your outlook on AI? Like, have you ever like pondered, okay, what does this do to my chance to create value as an entrepreneur, or like were you threatened by it? Because I think I personally, we all, like, for me, like, since my business is marketing, is content and everything, obviously you think, oh boy, is this gonna replace me here? So you have to develop your models. Like, where do you see this going?
Little advertisement. There's a really good podcast, AI 2027.
Okay.
I don't know if you have heard of it.
No, I have not.
Great guys that have done a lot of research about where are we going, because the how the models evolve is exponential, and if we see the trajectory of the last 6 months, in end of 2027 we will be at that point. And there are two ends at the podcast. One is very dystopian, one is good.
Okay.
Really recommend to listen to it. But yeah, so it can be go way above, beyond just taking your job. No, but for me, I never saw it as a threat because I am working so closely with it. And then that's where we get back to the point that I mentioned earlier. Get into a business that is AI first, no matter what you're building. If you're building the most boring business, but if it's AI first, you will be so close to the development of AI that there, in my opinion, will be a very, very small chance that you will be actually replaced. And I don't think that we have to be afraid of being replaced, because there's so much more great value that we can achieve by using AI in the correct way. And actually the things that most of us experience as being fun will become more valuable.
Yeah.
Actual thinking, creativity, talking to humans, and letting all the other stuff that is repetitive and redundant sometimes be done by AI. So that's my outlook. That will hopefully come true. And now for the content part, again, there to be the differentiator in the future, it's about, of course, how creative is what I'm doing, how unique is it, and AI is not creative because it has been trained on what's already been there. Of course, if we achieve AGI, that's going to be something different. But for now.
Yeah, 100%. Like with that, I listened to this Joe Rogan podcast with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Pretty good. And like he described this scene in a movie where Dwayne Johnson played this MMA fighter. And he said, like, he was so touched by this scene. And then he got to ask Dwayne Johnson, hey, how did you do it? You know? And then he told him the story of his dad being an alcoholic or something, and that's how he acted, because that fighter is also then doing drugs, and then he combined it with his mom getting the diagnosis of cancer and hiding under a sheet, and like he put that two things together and created this acting where we had those two experiences that he lived through and put in there. And so they used that as an example, like AI is never going to do that. Like that is inherently human and can lead to something that really touches people.
I partly agree, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think we can get to the point where also AI will know about these two experiences that he had in his childhood. Of course, not now if you backwards engineer it, but in the future, if we get to a point that we like really only have one interface, one device, I don't even know how it will look like, but and everything is in there, and the context engineering in the back is really, really good. That also should be AI should be able to reproduce something like that.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I think the genius was to have this experience and then combine it in that situation, apply it to that, but
with the emotional feelings. I think that's the important thing, that AI hopefully will not have any emotions that it can turn
turn sour.
Yeah.
And I mean, what you also touched on, which I find very positive about AI, I think is the thing, it actually pushes us to be more human, right? Like, how about that? Like the thing that's it, like you see it with like, first we try to work like machines because the industrial age, okay, you worker now be really good at executing machine-like stuff. Then the computer comes, then we try to be like computers and using them and stuff. And now AI comes and we get it. We can't be like AI. It's too good, it's too fast, it's too smart. It's just an unfair competition. And so we get pushed to be human where AI can compete for now.
That's amazing, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we're being pushed to be human. That's nice.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
pretty nice. And as you said, there's so many fun things to be done, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's also that we see a lot. Before we started the podcast, I told you about this hackathon. So, and also that's something we see, especially in B2C, but also now in B2B, that more in-person events are being pushed. Like everyone is getting back to, let's build a community. There are whole brands. There is, I think it's called Oasis or something. It's a sports brand.
I saw it.
Yeah, and the approach of the influencers that built this brand was fully community driven.
Yeah.
So that's something that AI can't do. So you can't go on that. That's not something that you have this N8N workflow that automates your AI generated videos that then spam 100,000 videos and for your distribution channel to be automated. No, that's really humans living your brand, talking about your brand, meeting up, having emotions together, and they're crazy successful. And you also see that in the B2B space. You see companies like Langdog hosting big events. Now you have all these hackathons in Munich or Berlin. Also Hamburg is starting with some. So that's really a trend that people actually now get. Yeah.
Nostalgia also, right? Are you getting into this? Like you're a little bit younger. You're like 25, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you turning to nostalgia because the world is so messy right now?
I have no time for that for now.
That's pretty good.
No, actually no, not yet.
No. By the way, I tried the automating video with VO and all that N8 stuff. We did it pretty good. It worked out pretty good, but I just found it to be so pointless. Yeah. And I think I'm not sure if the verdict is there yet, but people don't want to see AI slop, do they?
So that's a very good one because that's 2 points for me. First, you feel dissatisfied by the product that you produced because it's produced by AI and it feels so pointless, even though it might generate business value for you. That's something we can talk about later, maybe impact that you want to have. And the second topic, AI slop and brand value. So you also work with personal brands a lot, and we work with B2B brands, and some of them are they're industry leaders. And of course, they don't want to dilute their brand value, which is always the biggest contra argument for AI generated anything. So for that, again, you build systems that have a human in the loop and try to draw on data that is not yet publicly available to make the content that you produce unique, not only to humans, but also to LLMs in the end. So that's, brand value dilution is probably the biggest fear that B2B brands right now have when using AI for content creation.
Yeah, and I mean, I get the economics of AI content for sure, but like a friend told me that like the brand Boss or something, they wanted to do an entire campaign with AI, not because it was so new or something, but honestly because of the costs.
Yeah,
where I thought, really, a fashion brand. And I'm open to it, but as I said, we tried it out. We produced those videos, and for sure there is a case for it. Maybe it would have worked. And I'm not against it, but to us it felt like, first of all, nothing we wanted to do, like to spend our time with, and second, so let me ask you directly: do you enjoy watching AI videos?
No, so for me personally, if I see it's AI generated, I don't watch it. What I've seen companies do right now, also to gain competitive edge, is that when they produce videos that are animated, and they were animated always, they now have this small tag always, this was done by humans.
Okay.
And if you then go into the comment sections, you see people actually liking that a lot.
Yeah.
That it's generated by humans or animated by humans. But still, the business case for it is definitely there.
For sure.
If 3 years ago, I worked at a consultancy and we did a workshop with a OEM from Munich, and they wanted to have their own AI influencer. And back then, that was like where you could generate the first images of persons that looked quite realistic, but still not that realistic. And in the end, they did not do it. They should have done it, because now you have brands that have these AI influencers with millions of followers on autopilot, generating a lot of business value for them. Going forward, I don't know. I think we might be very close to the tipping point where people are like, "Hey, I don't want to see AI people in my threads anymore."
It's there. I probably there. I mean, like, yeah, there's gonna be. I mean, all tech CEOs, right? They predicted there's gonna be a period of fighting. Like, people don't want that. They feel threatened by AI.
Yeah.
For good reason probably, and for not good reason both. And so I think right now people probably reject AI at some level because it's threatening, and we feel, I mean, that's again such a good thing we go through as humans, where this doesn't feel real, it doesn't feel right, doesn't feel human. I want my social media feed to be human. It's a cool realization, because 5 years ago, like, we wanted to be more like computers probably, and so going through all that.
There is a big business opportunity there. Also, newspapers have this problem that they have to, of course, check news before they publish them, but they also want to be the fastest one in publishing them. It's impossible for them to fact check everything and what's real, what not. Now this has drastically increased through AI generated content, especially now in the current geopolitical state that we're in. So if you not only if you build mechanisms to detect what's AI generated and what's not, crazy business case. And then if you also build new social media that is 100% only human content, of course you're always fighting against others that are also very smart in generating content with AI. Reddit right now does that very, very well.
Okay.
So they're banning very strictly. Everyone now is also restricting their external API accesses.
For sure.
So I'm very interested where that goes. But user-generated content is right now gold.
Yeah. You mean real user-generated?
Yes, exactly.
Because people try to do user-generated content with
exactly,
AI.
Exactly, but real user-generated content.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and that's
the
again
human
why
premium.
What?
The human premium.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will see a lot of that human premium. Yeah. So if I now would build a company, I would again focus on building community, having real humans backing you up and helping you to build distribution, and of course use AI to maybe get these people to follow you and give them value through AI, whatever, but have humans around you, have humans produce content for you.
Yeah. How hard is it for you not to start another AI company or something?
Oh.
Because that's, I mean, you and me, like when you're so deep into it, like
Yeah.
you just see all the opportunity,
Yeah.
and I mean, it really makes
Yeah.
sense for almost everything.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense for almost everything. It's very, very hard, but we've gladly past that line where we want to jump on something new every day.
Mm.
But in the beginning, that was the plan, like building this venture studio, because we had so many ideas and trying them all out with AI, building distribution through AI. But then we noticed you need a human somehow to like constantly deliver the output that is needed, and to have actually someone behind this business. But of course, like the opportunities are endless once you get started and building within the space. Yeah.
What's your outlook on the future? I wanted to ask you this because you're a Gen Z person. I was just before you came, I was writing this post because we met up with Antoine last week. Shout out Antoine.
Yeah, shout out Antoine. Yeah.
And so 3 generations of entrepreneurs, right? And like there is no gap. Like it's entrepreneurs. Like we're curious, we're driven. Like, but as someone in your age, like what's your outlook on the future? Are you excited? What's this gonna be?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited.
Yeah.
I see so many smart people right now and ambitious people getting rejected for these jobs that used to be the ones, the most prestigious ones. Like from my cohort, everyone wants to go to Munich, wants to work in MBB, so in one of the big consulting firms, and now they stopped hiring because what we talked about earlier, that they can be replaced by AI, and that's something that for me is like the greatest opportunity for these people, because they're so smart, they can think systematically, they are humans, they can talk to people, and now they've given these crazy tools, and we've already seen that. I think I've read in a report that I think last year the most startups were incorporated.
Okay.
I think ever in Germany.
Even in Germany.
Yeah. So that outlook is very good. Of course, now as a Gen Z, like have been through COVID, been through all of this. I think there was a lot, of course, taken from us, but still, we're in Germany. We have everything we need. Everyone can start. There are so many people, like for example Antoine, who don't have to do all of this of helping young ambitious people getting foot in the door with entrepreneurship, but they're still doing it, and money is laying on the streets. Really, there are so many grants that you can get so easily. So many people who are, if you tell them that I have this small idea I want to try out, like there's so many people who are open, if you're ambitious enough to open all the doors you need to be opened, if you just stick to it and follow up. And also VC money is pouring in these startups. I don't have the numbers, but from what we've seen it's especially in Europe and Germany, they're waking up. They need to invest more. So yeah, go out there and build. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, you said this before, like too much, maybe in the past, maybe changing, too many smart people get lost to consultancy or like lucrative jobs. And I mean, the Germany security and everything is a thing, but as you said, like what's gonna happen to you? There's such a net. It's so high up, so the fall is so short, and it's so much fun to be around. Also, like I love the Munich startup ecosystem. it's energizing. Like
Yeah.
it's like, yes, let's build it. Like and having people around like really lifts you up, and I think most people never had this experience, so they don't.
I mean, now, like, there was when I did my bachelor's, it was always like, yeah, we all want to become entrepreneurs in the future, but we always need to find that technical person to fulfill our dreams or to build our dreams. Now we are at that point where you for a long time you will not need a technical person on your team to validate that your business idea that you have is working with like very, very small amounts of money that everyone can afford. And so we wished for it. Now we're here. You have your technical co-founder to a certain extent. Of course, if you want to go into production and really scale, you will need technical persons, senior persons for that. But to get the traction and the money and everything to then be at the point where it's also very easy to, not very easy, but easier than ever before to get someone on your team that now helps you to scale. Is there?
It's insane. So there was this on X. Are you on X?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Actually, it's not me. We have Benjamin. He's running X for us, but I sometimes scroll through it if I have time. Yeah.
I feel like in the tech space, it's quite. I mean, that's where the tech space lives, right? Like so there was this. Someone programmed an app, vibe coded, like it's combining two speed reading techniques in one, and like it aligns your eye and then just shows the words like real quick, and you can adjust how fast, and it like, so they put out a video of like some text. And I thought, this is really cool. I've always wanted to speed read.
Yeah.
Let's try this. Opened up Lovable, described the whole thing. Within 15 minutes, I had my own speed reader. And I thought, okay, this could be go up here. I take this. It was finished.
Yeah.
That's where we're at for someone like I never coded before, you know, like, and the things you can do. Like, this is silly, obviously. like never used it afterwards, but it could be with anything.
Yeah. Again, 2 points there. Yes, that's amazing that you can build something like that, and that you have this prototype now, which 2 years ago, like a VC would have given you at least some money. I don't know for that idea exactly, but you would have gotten some money. But now everyone can build that. That's first a problem for SaaS companies, because if I can build every tool that I would have paid $10, $30 a month, PDF converters, remove background on images, transform images to whatever, all of these small tasks that you do on a daily basis that you maybe have licensing costs for. That's one lovable subscription, $20 a month. You have a palette of 20 SaaS tools that you can get rid of in your company. But that's also why, again, the path to be a very successful entrepreneur again becomes hard, because you now have to build your distribution, because everyone can build that tool. And where's your defensibility within that? I'm not a very big fan of this whole what's your defensibility, what's your moat question, because it's like the number one questions VCs always ask, but it's a fair question now. Like, what's really your defensibility when everyone could potentially build that product for themselves?
Yeah.
Of course, they probably won't build it as production ready that they can also monetize it, because that's the hard part.
Yeah.
But why would they care if you build it production ready if they can have it running locally on their machine?
Yeah. So how do you think about creating a moat or having a moat?
Yeah. Again, it's of course the kind of, in the end, the kind of data that you have.
Yeah.
Like, what community client base do you manage to obtain at what speed and what kind of data are you able to gather during that time, because that data that is not yet publicly available is the gold for whatever will come next. Because also the foundational model providers like OpenAI, that's what they're seeking, this data. And you can build and train your own models that in the end just based prompts that you the prompt based on all the data that you gathered. But that's of course something for every business in that space that can be defensibility.
Yeah.
Very generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, speed is also one, right? Like always gets forgotten. I mean, just because everyone can do it, doesn't mean they gonna do it. And then speed, execution.
Yeah, I talked to Alex Schmidt from his partner at Lightspeed, and he was like, like before AI, execution could be your defensibility.
Yeah.
If you're just working 7 days a week with a team of 5 people, everyone is super smart and you're just very, very good at execution as well. It's also difficult. Then this is, of course, your defensibility. But now these lines get blurry because of AI again. But yes, speed is still one, definitely.
Yeah. How fast do you have to move? Like, do you guys feel like speed is one of the things you do well?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
To really get that velocity, you have to have a stable base to build upon from. And I wouldn't say that we're at that stage right now, where we can say now we have found product market fit and now it's just about how fast can we sell, how fast can we iterate on our product when anything changes. For that, the foundation has to be very solid. But of course, again, that's also a burden that makes it hard for others to rebuild it, because they also first have to establish that base to build up on from.
Can you just like real quick say what's your product? I think it would be interesting because I want to like let's talk about this intention economy that's on the rise, where there's just a shift. Like, is that why you started doing it? Also, you saw AI is gonna change this dynamic.
Let me make an example that I think then everyone will understand the product. Bernhard, what do you do?
I help entrepreneurs build a brand and monetize their brand.
Okay, and you would of course say that you are the best for what you're doing.
No, I would never say that personally. I strive to be the best. I think I'm starting to be pretty good. I know people that are even better probably, but
but still, you should be known for that, because you have a track record. You have very good client testimonials. So now, if I am an entrepreneur and I look for a personal branding expert, I go on ChatGPT and I ask it, "Hey, ChatGPT, I'm an entrepreneur in Munich and I'm looking for a personal branding specialist."
Are you doing it right now?
Yes.
Oh God, I haven't optimized for it yet.
Exactly. So, branding specialist. Okay, it's loading, but I think you get the point.
Yeah.
You're not in there.
Let's see it.
Yeah, let's see it. But that's exactly what we're doing. We're producing the content that would make you visible within ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity answers to such very specific questions. And
look at this, I'm sold already. Can you move the phone because of the cable?
Sorry,
No problem.
And we have to look up the answer.
Oh, we need the answer now. You sold me already. Where can I sign up? This is such good
Yeah, you can sign up
salesmanship
at
here.
scale.tech.
Scale.tech.
And come talk to me. No, but yes, this is what we're doing in very basic words. So what used to be or is still SEO, so you as a brand wanted to be visible within Google searches. Now the kind of way that humans are searching is shifting. We already have over 1 billion people searching in ChatGPT only. And the way they search in ChatGPT is different than they used to in Google. So in Google, they used to search for a personal branding specialist, maybe. That would have been the keyword that they would have looked for. And now they know that the AI really understands them very well. So they go in there and look for, I'm an entrepreneur in Munich and I'm looking for a personal branding specialist in AI, B2B SaaS, whatever.
That has already worked with people and so on.
Exactly. And there comes an important point. We are working with brands like Beurer. They're like the biggest medtech, health tech company in Germany, 500 million in revenue, and they have great products. So if you go on Amazon, for example, the blood measurement pressure tool that they have is the best rated on Amazon. If I go on ChatGPT and ask, like, I need a blood pressure measurement tool, what's the best for me? Bora doesn't show up, even though they have the best rated product. And that's because they don't have the content produced for that is referring to these reviews, and also, again, have user-generated content on other platforms, also linking back to their site and having these well-structured articles on their site that can be read very easily by the LLMs for these questions.
Yeah, for sure. How do you have any data, like how big is this already? I think for many deciders, entrepreneurs, I think it's important to say, okay, is this, I mean, it's obviously gonna come, so might as well do it sooner than later. But like, how big is the traffic? Like, do you know any like numbers from, okay, Google search dropped 20%. This is picked up by ChatGPT.
There's a really good study that just dropped last week from Graphite. They're one of the biggest SEO agencies in the world. And they did a study with SimilarWeb. They analyzed over 1 million pages. I don't know the exact number, but what they saw is that Google traffic has not really dropped that much. So that's what you hear a lot on LinkedIn. Everyone is saying that like SEO is dead, Google is dead, whatever. Everyone is only going to search in ChatGPT, but that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing that intent economy, the way that people search is different. And now, of course, you have also features within Google, like the AI overviews that change, that people don't click on your site anymore because they already have this AI overview summarizing what they're looking for. And of course, at one point they will come to your site, but maybe not through that search query because it was just an informational one. But still, you have to be in, no matter what industry you are, you have to optimize for the intent economy. And the way that you produce content and you publish content has changed, and also the speed at which you're publishing content and how you're reacting to news and being visible.
Yeah, for sure. There's just an extra layer. Like, I think for many years, I mean, SEO was always there, but I think the focus of the last maybe decade, 2 decades was the attention economy, getting attention, converting it into revenue, into sales. That still exists. There's still human attention. We're still living, breathing people. But now you want to add this machine layer, this AI agent retrieval layer that's becoming more and more important. And I think many people lack the imagination maybe now, where this is going. Like, right now, okay, are you buying your car with AI? No.
Yeah.
Like you might search, but in 1 or 2 years, if there's an agent that's rated like 70,000 5-star reviews, got me the very best car I could possibly want, you might just do that, and in 5 years you for sure gonna do that, and with things that you wouldn't even think of today, probably.
And it's already happening.
Yeah.
So in the US, for example, there is Zillow, where you can rent and book, buy, I think even buy apartments. And you can basically just prompt within ChatGPT, hey, I'm two-person, I'm a couple having this budget, want to live in that area, want to live in that storage, whatever. The agent will go ahead and find that apartment and write them a message. Then, on the other hand, there's now Google introduced UCP, what they call, and you, in the Google AI mode, you just say, okay, I want to buy a travel bag for traveling to whatever, wherever. And in Google, if you're logged in and you have connected Google Pay, you don't even go on the page anymore. You buy the luggage, the trolley, right from the AI mode. And this, in my opinion, as we touched upon earlier, that we will live on one interface that is all connected to AI, and AI will get to know us very well. You have to position yourself as a brand as well, very well and very narrowed down for your niche. So hopefully we will end up at that point that we will reach very, very good market transparency, and also having a very, very good match between actually you as a person, because the AI knows you very well, and the AI also because you produced a lot of content that is very specific to your business, knows your business very well, and then matches you. So that's the dream. And again, this will also lead to that people actually buy and get products and services that are actually suiting to them. Because with attention economy, it was like spray and pray, and some got caught, some not. Now, if you have a really clear intent, you will find what you need if the brand that you need has optimized for it.
Yeah. So I think that begs the question, like, how much is there gaming the system? You just like pictured this world where, hey, AI knows you well and it knows the products, and like that would be nice. Like I always thought, like, how is there how have we not figured out real reviews? Like how is that not a thing? I mean, it's obviously because the incentives are skewed against it. Like I don't think anyone wants real reviews other than the people that buying the stuff. But so how much gaming is there right now? Because SEO, I mean, we started with having invisible text on a site that's ranking. Like, what's your pulse on that? How much gaming?
Right now, there's still a lot of manipulation possible and gaming the results. We have
that was like almost the official result. yes, Mr. Senator, there's a lot of
no, but it's still there. So I give you an example. We have this one platform where we are selling insurances, like Birkin bag insurances, Rolex insurances, Cartier insurances. So insurances that you normally don't, like very niche again.
Very niche.
And we just uploaded over 1,000 blog articles targeting all these hyper niche insurances that no other big insurancer is offering. And we have no reviews of this company that is just a brand of our company. There's no human review. There's no human behind this brand. There's everything on that page is AI generated, but with a lot of input data that wasn't on the web yet. And we get tons of leads every day that we then forward to insurances that are actually offering these insurances. But if I, as a human, would come on this page and would spend a little bit of time on that page, I wouldn't sign up and request an insurance from that. But still, the LLMs view us as very relevant and pull us for these hyper niche insurances because no one else has structured content on the web for these hyper niche insurances. I'm pretty sure there are some insurers who also have websites where they offer these, but they haven't structured the data in a way that the LLM likes it. And also there aren't the signals for the AI that they should cite them rather than us.
Yeah, that's sick. And I mean, that's obviously great for proving how good you guys are at what you do. And like when you said it, like if a person goes on it, nothing would happen probably because it's clearly, but you optimized it for an AI and you get real leads.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, I mean, obviously that tells us how people get there using AI. Makes sense. And so there's still some gaming to be had.
The problem with it, or the biggest problem with it, is that people really trust. There are also studies on that. They trust ChatGPT, Gemini way more.
Way too much.
Way too much. Like, you would never trust a normal Google search where you then come on a scrappy blog post of a very bad looking website that much as if you're going into ChatGPT and people ask ChatGPT everything for their life advice. They don't go to a psychologist and ask ChatGPT for it. I would not recommend you to do that. It helps to a certain extent, yes, of course, but don't trust it too much.
Yeah. Have you gone down that path? Because I have, where I used it too much, and now I'm coming back. Like first I said AI everything, AI, and then I realized, oh boy, I'm really outsourcing my thinking here. Let's bring that back. Have you been on that journey?
Yes. I also noticed the real value lies within your own thinking. And again, like building the system that everything else can be done by AI, that's very, very good and that needs to be done. But please think on your own. Like also for me.
Yeah. So you're gonna later on do a pitch for Google and OpenAI. That sounds so fancy, right?
No, it's a TUM.AI event. TUM.AI is an accelerator here in Munich. The story of them is pretty crazy. They opened this whole accelerator, or not the accelerator, but the TUM.AI thing. It was a bunch of students. They contacted a research lab in San Francisco back in 2019, 18, I don't remember, for some credits for AI. And turns out this research lab is now OpenAI. And they since then got very successful within the Munich but international ecosystem. And since a few years, they have this accelerator program. And from this accelerator program, there are 6 startups selected at the end of the program that then pitch in a big venue in front of 500 people. And the jury is from people from OpenAI, Lovable, Felix Haas, from Google, from Speed Invest, from Ballerton.
And that's happening today?
Yes, that's happening
and you're sitting here? We talked about this. Presentation is perfectly ready. By the way, are you using Gamma to do the presentation?
I will show you my presentations I've done. I don't use Gamma. I hate Gamma. I use Cursor for it, and you will be blown away by the quality. Also, all our pitch decks and PDFs and documents that we delivered are all done by Cursor. We've built our own design system for it. Took a day or something.
Awesome. Love to see it. I like Gamma. Like no advertisement here, but I mean, obviously, but the way it doesn't look good. Like it does the job, but the feel is not there.
No, for us, having worked in consulting for quite a time, it looks like a very good presentation what we've built. Yeah, so that's why I don't like Gamma as well. Yeah, you can use it for a few presentations, but not for such a pitch. No.
Yeah, no, probably not. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Great.
Any last words? No, by the way, I used to ask, I like to ask people because I think it's a cool thing. So this is like if you had this big billboard, it's towering over Munich and everyone sees it. Like you just turn your head and you see that billboard. What would you write on it?
Hi, I'm Simon. I spend way too much money for that billboard. Please visit my website.
That was this campaign on the Times Square, right?
Yeah, I really loved it. Yeah.
What website should they visit?
Scale.tech.
Scale.tech.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's do that.
Yes, amazing. Thank you for having you.
Thanks.
Me. Great.
Awesome. Really cool. We did it.